Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. Today is the first day of 2018. Yes, today is New Year's Day, and I hope everybody had a great New Year's Eve last night. Hopefully you didn't get too drunk, too crazy, too wild, but just drunk enough, crazy enough, and wild enough to enjoy the end of the 2017 year. Actually, today's video, it's about... Well, actually, it went up to a whole 26 degrees out here today. It was actually 14 when I woke up with a minus 2-degree wind chill. So I decided to kind of make a road trip, kind of a quick video here. Kind of reflect back on what mods I've actually done in 2017, and talk about a little about what I plan on doing in 2018. Also, the mods that I did in 2017, I'm going to say, which ones are kind of pretty much my favorite, and hopefully, there's something that you guys also did that you're with your mods that's your favorite as well. Obviously, some of them are okay, some of them are kind of like the best. So, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and pretty much get started. So, my favorite mod that I've done, and it actually happens to be the very first mod that I did, is installing or replacing the head unit, the original factory head unit, with the Pioneer 4200 NEX. I did a little research to find out, what would be the best head unit to use for my situation. And I definitely wanted the Android Auto, because I kind of wanted a bigger screen for the navigation and things like that. And so I'm pretty much using my phone for the auto, for the navigation, and it also does Waze, because originally I just did Google Maps, but now they with the update, it actually includes Waze as well, and I like Waze a lot better than Google Maps. But anyway, not only does it do that for my navigation, but it also allows me to listen to Pandora and Spotify and other kind of music, and the normal audio as well. So I also included the backup camera, and the backup camera is a really good addition to this unit, simply because, especially whenever I'm parked in a parking lot or something like that, I can see at both sides behind me whenever two cars are parked next to me. It makes it a lot easier to see if anybody's coming or walking or whatever. So anyway, that is probably the most practical and also my favorite mod that I've actually done to this car. If I was going to do nothing else to it, that would be pretty much it. Would be that, because it is that invaluable. Okay, now the mod that probably gives it the most visual impact is whenever I change the seats. I originally had the cloth black seats, and they weren't in very good shape. So I purchased some leather, some regular black leather ones from eBay, and they were kind of okay, but it still wasn't perfect. It wasn't like exactly what I wanted. So then I found on eBay again these seat covers. I think they're Iggy seat covers. They're pretty inexpensive. I don't know, $150 or maybe less than that. And adding that red with the black just really gave it a visual pop. And believe it or not, anytime I go to my either Cars and Coffee or any kind of car meets, that's usually one of the first things that people talk about. Say, oh my goodness, look at those seats. So as far as comfort and stuff, I mean, it's no different than if you just have your stock seats, but just the look of them is pretty much worth $100 and whatever. Maybe it was $139. I'll put a link below in my description, so you guys can go check them out as well. I've actually seen other people on the Facebook and things install them, so they must be happy with them also. So as far as keeping them, I do plan on getting into autocross this year, so I may eventually swap out the seats in general for some racing seats. Not sure about that. That's kind of in the future. We'll see how that goes. If I take autocross seriously enough that I want to swap out the seats, then I'll do that. But as for now, I really like the color of these. They're lasting pretty good, and like I said, everybody else kind of talks about them. Okay, the next mod I think is one of my favorites as well, and it would be the cold air intake. It was actually pretty easy. I mean, it took me probably a half an hour, only because I was recording the steps that I was doing and explaining stuff as I was doing it, but you could probably change that thing out if you know what you're doing, 10-15 minutes, something like that. Visually, it looks pretty cool in the engine, and everybody, when they see a cold air intake, they pretty much see that and know what it is. But the sound. It kind of gives it a little more of a growl. I'm actually sitting at a red light now, so maybe I can, hopefully it'll come out on the audio and you can kind of hear it, but it gives a little more growl with the exhaust, almost like a two. It's kind of hard to explain. I don't know if this is with all of them. This is the first cold air intake I had, but it almost gives it like a two-tone kind of a sound. Like it'll start off one way and then, okay, here we go. Let's see if I can get it going. So you can see it kind of gives that, I don't know if you can hear it. I guess I'll find out once I start editing. Kind of gives a little more of a growl than than just the normal air intake, or not. But actually, that's going to change as well. Is one of my future ones that I'm going to talk about here shortly. But anyway, like I said, the cold air intake, to add any kind of performance, I mean, I don't know, maybe seat of the pants, just because I know it's in there, feels a little bit more responsive. But practically, maybe, I don't know, I think I've heard maybe 1 or 2 extra horsepower, or maybe nothing. But it doesn't really matter because it looks cool, it sounds cool. And it wasn't that expensive of a mod. I got it from DDM Works, and like I said, it was simple to install, and it's one of my favorites. Okay, and my last favorite mod that I did to this, I didn't even realize it would be one of my favorites until I was racing up in Bowling Green on the one Raceway Park up there, and that would actually be the brakes. I pretty much swapped out the standard pads that came with the Sky, and put some racing pads on there, or high performance pads, or whatever they call them, and they pretty much had me stopping and slowing down like incredibly fast. And I was there all day. It was 90, almost 95 degrees out, and there was no fading, no pulsating, no anything. I changed the brake pads, and I actually changed the rotors as well to some cross-drilled rotors. They came as a kit, but not until I was actually talking to somebody on Facebook about it. But I know that we have anti-lock brakes, or at least I have anti-lock brakes on my Sky. I didn't even realize they were kicking in, because you could feel no pulsating in the pedal. Like all of my other cars, you can feel the pulse in the pedal whenever the anti-locks kick in. But this one, there was nothing. So I actually had to question whether my anti-lock brakes were even working. And sure enough, from what I heard, they actually are. Everybody else is saying that no, there's no pulsating in the pedals. It's one of the really good things about our anti-lock brake system. But anyway, yeah, they like I say, they pretty much stop on a dime, and I'm really happy with those. I'm glad I got them, even just for safety, driving around in general. It's good to be able to brake quickly and whenever you need to, and you don't need any fade happening either. So anyway, those are pretty much my 4 top favorite mods that I did. I did a bunch of other mods as well. If you watch some of my previous videos, I might change that. My headlights to LEDs, I added some switchback turn signals on the front, which are pretty cool for the turn signals. Put LED lights in the mirror, LED lights in the back, trunk space, and lights it up really well. I did some red piping around the doors. That adds a little bit of visual impact. I've actually had people mention those as well. Did the black stripe down the center. I'm kind of on the fence about that. I may or may not keep it. I don't know. I kind of like it, but I might come up with something different. I don't know. And what else did I do? I think that pretty much wraps up for the actual mods that I've done. I've actually fixed a few things, a couple of switches and that kind of stuff. Oh, and changed the battery. But I don't consider those mods. That's just a maintenance thing. Okay, now going forward into 2018, some of the mods that I would like to do, and I know at least one of them I am going to do, is a dual exhaust. Now I have the standard 2.4 base Sky. Got something there. The standard 2.4 base Sky with a single exhaust, and I actually picked up a Redline dual exhaust. I already have the balance in the back, so I don't have to cut anything out. So I plan on swapping that out as soon as the weather gets warmer. I could easily take it to another, muffler place, but that's not fun. I'd rather do it myself. So once the weather gets a little bit warmer, I want to do that. And also I want to get a backbone. And if I get the backbone in time, which I should be able to, I'll do those both pretty much at the same time. Because it's much easier to put a backbone in with the exhaust system out of there. So that'll be an interesting setup. But I know it's not going to change anything in performance until I get a high flow cat, which and coincidentally is going to be another mod that I want to do for this year, and that is either, and I'm still on the fence, but I'm leaning more towards one than the other, either get the RPM Motorsports Turbo upgrade to the 2.4, or not spend as much money, make it a little bit easier, and just get their Stage 2 2.4 Stage 2 tune with the injected ports and things like that. So, like I said, I'm still on the fence which way I'm going to go with that. I think I'm going to go more towards just the 2.4 Stage 2 tune and kit, simply because it's going to be an easier thing to do. I could probably do it myself, and there's less complications and less. I mean, I haven't had, knock on wood, I haven't had any trouble with this engine, and I hate to start adding a lot of horsepower to it and start screwing things up, and next thing I know I have a mess on my hands. So I might just stick with that Stage 2. I'm going to do autocross. I think, I could do autocross with this engine the way it is right now, I'm not worried about it, but just to have a little more, from what everybody says, a little more peppiness, a little more mid-range torque, and it's supposed to be a lot zippier and a lot more fun to drive the 2.4 even without a turbo than with it. So once I do that, I'll get the high flow cat, do the tune, mix that up, between that and the exhaust. I think I heard I might get maybe 18 extra horsepower, maybe 19 or 20 foot-pounds of torque, which, it's not going to win any records, but it's going to be better than what I have, and that's all I want to do. I mean, I just want to have fun with this. And speaking of autocross, everybody talks about it, everybody says it's great. I've actually tried it on somebody else's Solstice, is the short shifter. It's kind of on my plans as well. It's not a real super duper high priority, but like I said, once I start doing autocross, that might be something that I'm really going to be interested in doing. So the short shifter is kind of on my list for 2018 as well. And getting back to the autocross and performance and things, one of the other things that I don't have in here that I want to add is a limited slip differential. There's one on eBay, I think it's called Quafe or Quafey or something like that. Has one that I can easily add to this as well to get that limited slip, and that'll help basically performance and as far as traction and things like that in general. So that's going to be on my list for 2018 also. Okay, now getting away from the performance mods for 2018, these ones are going to be more visual, and one of the ones I like to do is get a carbon fiber dash kit. I actually had a dash kit on my 300M. They look pretty cool if you get good ones. They're going to be good ones. But anyway, the carbon fiber, I've seen some people with their Skies have the dash kits, and I kind of like it. Once again, it sets off the interior a little bit compared to everybody else's. The other thing I want to do in the back is the sequential turn signals for the rear tail lights. Something called Sweep Light. They sell them on eBay and also on their website. Pretty inexpensive, kind of makes your turn signal sweep like the Ford Mustangs. I've seen those actually on a Sky once, and I thought that was pretty neat. So I'll go ahead and install that. Not that, like I said, not that expensive, and fairly simple to do. And the third one, and this is very low on my priority list, but it might be something, is to change the instrument cluster and they actually have some white gauge numbers, whatever you want to call that, the actual speedometer and tachometer. You can swap the black ones that I have in here now, or I don't know if they're just stickers, or I don't know what they are, but anyway, kind of switches up the white, gives it more of a racy, sporty look. Like I said, that's pretty low on my priority list, but it's on there. I mean, all things going well, I might end up doing that for 2018 as well. So there you have it, the current mods that I have, my favorite mods that I have, and some of the future ones that I have listed. And I'm sure, a week, a month, or 2 months, 3 months from now, I'll probably even have more that I want to do in 2018 as well. But those are the ones that I have for now, and hopefully you guys are, modifying your cars, make them yours, make them special to you, and hopefully you're watching my videos, and I hope that I'm able to help you on some of the installations. Most of these things I've never done before in my life, so I'm pretty much going at it, brand spanking new. So if I run into problems, hopefully I can solve them and keep you from having those problems as well. That being said, I hope you have a fantastic New Year's, and if you like the videos I'm coming out with, please subscribe below. Share them with your friends. The more subscribers I get, the more I know that everybody kind of likes these videos, and the more I'll be able to come out with them. So hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Have a fantastic 2018. If you have any questions, put them in the comments below, and I will try to answer them the best that I can.